mean, you initially just talk about, like, in terms of what you said, understanding who you are, trying to get
Welcome to Social Work Sunday Tea. I am Shakia Houston. It's a great day to be alive and well. It is November 26th, 2023. Listen, we're alive, we're well, we're in color, all that good stuff. So make sure that you like, subscribe, share. We have a special guest. I would like for her to introduce herself. For you to introduce yourself, and it's gonna be an amazing time. And I love this topic. But yeah, Miss AK Harris, go ahead, introduce yourself.
How's everybody doing today? I am Adela Harris, AK Harris, and I am a life coach, a certified life coach. I am also a marriage and family therapist. I've gotten about 10 years in the behavioral health field, but I am currently really pressing on the life coaching aspect of it and ensuring that I'm providing the appropriate referrals and resources for those who need it. As you guys may know, but you may not know, I have a business called Harris Howard Homes. And with Harris Howard Homes, which is the LLC, we provide those resources for individuals that have co-occurring disorders, that are looking for counseling, that are looking for life coaching, that are needing basic referrals, and soon to be that are looking for transitional housing. So those are the individuals that typically come to Harris Howard Homes, and that's who we're reaching out to. So thank you for having me on the show today.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. So I have to ask a little like a snippet before we get into the hot topic.
Okay.
What made you get into this arena, this field? Because I mean, is it a passion or just something that you stumble upon and you're like, okay, I guess I'll do this. I like it. So what made you get into this arena?
Well, really, I was in college, I was getting my degrees in human resourcing and, the business administrative aspect and management. And one day I was at TSU. Oh, no, I was actually at Butler. I was at junior college at this time. I took a psych course just to take one. I needed an extra elective and I really enjoyed it. And it also made me relate to some of the things that we don't hear or hear in church. And so it made me realize some of the things that we do need to talk about that are not being talked about, whether it's in the church, whether it's in the community, whether it's with our families. And then also taking these steps, the appropriate steps, and the positive things in our lives to establish some of the goals that we're trying to reach and to correct our mind frame and, spirituality and all of those things connected and woven all up together. And so here I am.
That's what's up. Like, I thank you for being a part of this journey as far as like helping people, because it's a straight ministry to even.
Oof. We need help.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a straight ministry, and it's like, everybody can't do it. I think we're chosen to do this, for this season in our lives, and whatever else, God wants us to do. But listen, it is a straight journey. I never
Every day.
every day,
Every day.
helping the people. You be like, okay, am I helping myself too?
Speak a little word for me too.
Speak the word. Absolutely. So we're going to get right into our topic of discussion, our tea topic today. The art of saying no. No, 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 no. How do you
Mhm.
feel about that word no? Because it's something. It's something.
I don't mind using it. I don't like to hear it.
Say
Uh-huh.
that
I don't
again.
I don't I don't like to hear the word no,
Mm,
because
mm,
listen,
mm.
I'm a person that likes to have their own way,
Huh?
but I also realize that that might not be realistic all of the time.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I try to make my steps to where I don't get too many no's, but
Yeah.
if I do, knowing how to handle once that does happen.
Okay.
But I have no problem saying no.
No problem. No,
Uh,
no, absolutely.
I
And with
used to, not
that, yeah.
anymore.
Okay. Okay.
Now listen, Shakia, we getting too old and whew, we tired. We've been serving the Lord all day, serving the
Uh-huh.
people all day,
Uh-huh. Right.
serving the companies and the businesses all day. So
Okay.
got to
Yes.
go on home.
Let me go ahead
Yeah.
and give you with a no. No.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like, was that hard for you? How did you say no?
Well, um, I will say that for when it comes to me with strangers or people that I don't have relationships with, it's much more easier for me to say no
Yeah.
because I have no investment in that particular thing that they may be asking me for.
Yeah.
But I think I had to really prioritize my mindset, my well being, and my peace when it comes to saying no, especially with these last 3, 4 years, really understanding what peace feels like and looks like,
Yeah.
and knowing the difference between because you have friendships and you have relationships. And with friendships and relationships, you are sometimes inconvenienced to
Mm,
do things, but you do those things because you're saying that they're a valued person in your life.
right.
And so it was really me balancing that out. Am I just being inconvenienced? And can I do this? Is it going to hurt me to do this? Or is it going to impede in my personal health and
Yeah.
mind frame?
Yeah.
And if so, then I got to say no.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a big thing, especially when it comes to people that we know. We like,
Mhm.
ooh.
Right. Right.
You feel like you're melting on the inside. You're like, oh.
Yes. Hmm.
So, like,
Hmm.
outside of, I'm glad that you gave us your experience on saying no. But why do people have a hard time saying no? What is it about this two-letter word that is so powerful? Like they kind of like suffocate, like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
let's get like I don't know. Like, what is it about this word that makes people, oh my God, I can't say this.
I think it's just because it causes discomfort. It
Yeah.
causes people to feel weird and anxious or closed in all of a sudden. And when you get those feelings, what's your response to a weird situation or an uncomfortable situation? You might be fight or flight.
Yeah.
You might just get on out of there. I'm just not going to say anything. I'm
Yeah.
just not going to respond. Or it could be, well, the guilt comes into play. Well, they did ask me, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it, and we put somebody else's needs above your own. And it could just be something as simple as wants to, if you just don't want to do it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still that discomfort comes into play. And I think that's what shakes people up quite a bit.
Yeah. So how do you say no to people you feel uncomfortable with or you're drained? Because then we become people pleasers, right? And so it's
Yep.
kind of like you fall into that category and then you exhausted because you said all the yeses from the heavens above. And
Yep.
you kind of like, okay, I feel uncomfortable. I'm always showing up. I'm always coming to the rescue of someone.
Hmm.
How do you say no to that type of particular person? Because especially if you're drained or um you kind of like you don't want to say no, but then it's like you said, it causes conflict, right? It causes
Hmm.
conflict. However,
Hmm.
but it's tampering with your mental health, it's tampering with your thing that you don't want to do. And I say
Yeah.
this all the time. Look, Don't do nothing for me if you don't want to do it. It's okay. Like
Right. You do not have to.
you don't have to, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, but people, they'll make you feel like I say, okay, I do it. Then turn around and be like, I ain't want to do it anyway. So
Right.
it's kind of like, let your yes be yes, let your no be no, in that sense. So I know I kind of like sidebar on that part, but but how do
Let
you
me piggyback off of that real fast.
piggyback? Go ahead.
Let me piggyback off it. You can't expect people to respond or react the way that you do.
Yeah.
And that was definitely something that I had to learn. I usually think I'm right most of the time, you know. And so if I think that I'm right, I typically think that other people should do it the way that I do it because I'm doing it the right way.
Yeah.
And so it's unrealistic for me to feel like other people should respond or behave the way that I do in a particular situation.
Yeah.
And it could be something as simple as you're at home sick and you would really like somebody to bring you some lunch or some soup. Well, in my mind, if my friend or family calls and tells me they're sick, I'm going to automatically ask, well, what is it that you need? I'm just going to drop some soup off, or I'm going to drop by some medicine or something like that. And I would think that I would get that back in return. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And that's where that discomfort, I think, comes into play again. And being inconvenienced in friendships. Are you willing to be inconvenienced in this relationship? And do you value that person?
Yeah. 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 I think more so the inconvenience part, you know, like in setting that clear, like, okay, that stuff, you know, you don't want to do something, you be like, you do, your body reacts because it's like, you know, you don't want to do this. So why we playing, right? And I think also expectations, right? We impose our expectations without telling. I think we talked about this before.
We did,
right?
We did.
And I was like, we implement other people's expectations our expectations off on other people, and that they're not even aware of your expectations of them. And that's when we get disappointed.
Yep.
And so it's kind of like, okay, all right, you know, and then the no is kind of like a little bit more serious, like, you doing it? No.
Then we upset that we gotta know. No. What do you mean? What does that mean exactly?
Huh? Who? Me? You telling me?
Yep.
I think
it's clear with, you know, dealing with people that make you uncomfortable or are always pushing for something to get done and you want to say no to them. I think the first thing is setting clear boundaries with that individual. Because you want to be assertive and diplomatic when you're doing it. You know, don't do it off of emotions, don't do it off of feelings, but being very clear. Hey, listen, you know, I need to focus on some of my priorities right now, and I'm unable to do this today. Or, you know, thank them for the offer or for the opportunity, but you have other things that you have to focus on. And being very clear about those boundaries. Don't expect me to be there. This isn't, I may show up late. This isn't, I'm going to show up early and leave early. I'm not coming at all. I will not be a part of it.
No. Yeah, I think that, that is a healthy way of expressing, you know, what you like. You said that clear, you're really clear and really you got to be assertive too. Like, no, I'm not doing this. And it's not even mean. I don't think that is mean now. Now, back in the day, you know, before I discovered boundaries and all these great you know, tools, right? At first I was like, oh, so bad. But now I don't feel bad anymore. Like, and I think that you kind of like it is about self-preservation, because especially if you're, like you said, inconveniencing yourself, or you're putting yourself like, no, then I gotta go do this, then that, then later. Then you putting your, I think a no is putting yourself first with the boundaries. Like, hey, I don't want to go, or I'm not interested, or I'm not comfortable talking about that. Or, you know, I think it's more so of kind of like, just offering other alternatives to saying no. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes some people can just be flat out and say, no, hell no, no. They'll go in,
Mm-hmm.
and some people think that's being mean, but it's really not. I don't think that's
I think it's
mean.
all about the delivery.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the delivery.
Yeah, it is. It is. Because you can tell somebody that they dress ugly in a very
Mm-hmm.
nice way, and it is about the delivery. Like, well, I don't like, well, I think you look better with this color on, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think,
Mm-hmm.
and people be like, oh, and they was accepted well, very, very well.
Mm-hmm. I
Versus,
really, really like you in pink. It does amazing things to your skin and you just glow.
yeah,
Get them out of whatever they have on.
yeah,
I really like you in this. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Persuasive talk.
all good.
Persuasive talk.
And we love it. It's like, okay, you like, oh, okay, yeah. Like,
Well, maybe I do look good in pink. Maybe I should wear that next time. Yeah,
absolutely.
that would
Like,
be great.
yeah, my daughter, Chelsea did that to me, and I was just like, oh,
Right.
but look, it was
Because
the
we know
after
what it is.
effect.
Right. Oh, really?
Did- oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Then you thought about it later. You were like,
I think she said something about me.
she did,
Mm-hmm.
she really did, yeah. So it's kind of like a whole like strategy about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are some strategies for politely declining an invitation or a request that you don't have the energy for?
Again, I just think it goes back to honesty. And I
Yeah.
feel like in these situations, honesty is key. Or offering up alternative means of getting whatever needs to be done.
Okay.
Um, I think also if you're going to say no or you're going to reject something, you want to show that you still value the relationship if you do
Mhm.
value the relationship and that you're open for future opportunities.
Okay.
You may not want to do it today, you may not want to do it next week, but
Yeah.
you will do it next month, you will do it in the summertime.
Yeah.
So just offering up other means of being helpful
Yeah.
for that individual without just giving a complete no with nothing behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Definitely. Definitely. That's good. That's good. Um, because it still gives them that to be optimistic, like, okay, she not now, but later on,
Hmm.
she gonna help me
Hmm.
or
No, without
gonna help me.
anything
And
behind it. Hmm.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Like, oh, not right now, not right now. It's not a good time. But you also, making it be known, like, hey, like you said, what you have going on is valuable, but right now
Hmm.
I don't have the capacity to do it right now.
And again, the beginning of that is honesty. If you know that you
Yeah,
don't want to do it next month or in the summertime, don't even give that option. Don't even
yeah,
say that you're going to do that. Because again, I can only talk about myself. If you
yeah,
tell me you're going to do something for me, I'm probably not even going to nag you. I'm just going to expect it to get done,
yeah,
which then
absolutely.
brings us back to those expectations that we were talking about that people don't
Yeah,
know about.
yeah,
So
yeah,
now they're being held to an expectation that
yeah,
they have no idea that they're being held to.
yeah.
Now I'm upset at the end of the week because it ain't done. You know what I mean? Because it didn't get complete. Now I got to do it myself when I
Yeah,
could have done it myself earlier.
right. The nerve.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So then you feel
Yep.
some type of way. Then you start looking at
Mhm.
them
Now
like,
I'm behind on my work.
because you didn't do what I asked you. If
Right. Because you didn't do what I thought you was gonna do. What you said you was
yeah,
gonna do.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, being honest on if that's something you're going to do or not do.
Absolutely. I'm definitely clear on that. When people are like, no, I can't do it, I'll be like, oh, okay. And don't be upset with people when they say no.
Right.
Yeah. But because some
Exactly.
people are upset when you say no to them.
Ooh, and then they be mad for years. You not even know it. Grudges. They've been holding them, and talking about you.
Yeah.
That's
Like a
what
dirty
that's what's
dog.
happening. And they talk about you for years. You don't even know they upset.
Right. And then they won't come, then they'll be around you. And this is based off experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is experience based. And so, after years, you be like, dang, what I do to you? Then they want to have a conversation. Remember when yada yada yada, and you told me no? You still on it? Are you still really you still on that? Like, now, because if it was old Shakia, it would have been something totally different. But
why was I thinking the same thing? Oh, Katie. And yes, that's what I said. I remember. Yeah. And I didn't do it. Like I told you, I wasn't going to. I didn't do it. But, the reformed me. I apologize if that's how my statement made you feel,
Yeah. My bad. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You've been upset for years and you didn't have to be.
Right. And you didn't have to.
You didn't even have to be.
But that was
this must be a load lifted off your shoulders.
Lifted
It must be a load lifted off your shoulders.
You're mad. You're mad for what?
And then that's why we ain't got no friends.
Just be saying anything. Well, I think like our friendship, right? If you something you can't do, I'd be like, cool, I'm mad at you because I know you like if you can do it, you'll do it, right? And I don't get mad. And I think that because of friendships, relationships, you have to be open and honest with a person, and especially if you know a person. Let me see if Katie do it for me. And she was like, Katie do it. Nope. Well, she hit me with the finger. Nope. No, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'm like, all right.
Yep.
Won't go my way, right? And I still love you. Which you know. And I think that people forget that people have lives and other things they have going on. And if it's something that you don't have the capacity to do, don't get mad at that. Like you still love the person regardless, with with or without whatever that they may not have done for you or whatever, or whatever it is, right? And I think that people need to extend grace too when it come down to that, because you may not have the mental capacity to even do that. But if I don't know, and if you just doing it to be doing it, like, okay, you keep telling me yes, yes, yes. And then when you hit me with the no, I'm like, and then you hit me with other stuff. Oh, and then you hit me with some more stuff. It's just like,
yeah.
Where did that come from?
And we real big. Again, too, it is knowing the relationship with the person. Yeah. If you know you ain't got no relationship, you don't have a relationship with this individual. Don't have high expectations. Yeah. Take them no's as a blow of the wind and keep on going, because we're going to get a lot of no's in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And keep pushing until you get where you're trying to go. Somebody's going to say yes to you.
Yep, absolutely.
And if they don't, do it yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you got to get it done. There's no point in sitting down and whining and moping and being very stagnant and not moving forward. So you have to move forward and find a way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. By any means necessary. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you got to get it done, whatever it may be, And so with that being said, how can you set boundaries with people who consistently demand your time and attention? How do you do that? Needy. I call it needy a little bit, but okay.
Listen, let me start this off with a little of Katie and a little less AK for a quick second.
Okay. Okay.
The Gemini in me, whether people believe in that stuff or not, I dabble just a little bit, but I really don't know too much about it, except for the fact that I'm a twin. But anyway, the Gemini in me,
you are a twin.
I am, gets to running when I feel claustrophobic, or I feel like somebody is nagging or being too clingy, or trying to enmesh in an inappropriate way that then starts crossing over my boundaries and my safety shield that I have around me at times. And so switching back over to AK. Okay. When I'm dealing with those people that are demanding and they're consistently demanding, you have to, again, communicate your limitations clearly. And when I say limitations, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about boundaries. I'm talking about time. I'm talking about peace of mind and letting them know and reinforcing that with, you know, this is what I can handle and this is what I can't handle. This is
Yeah.
what I can do and what I can't do. And this is what I'm not going to do. You know what I mean? No,
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do that. And you can give a reason or you don't have to give a reason. But again, I think it's always about how you say it. It's
Mhm.
about the context in which you say it, the environment on which you say it, and your reasoning behind saying something like that.
Yeah. 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 That's good. That's good. I think I just discovered boundaries, right? I just discovered and fell up in them, right? I'm still working, still working
Are we
progress.
all?
You
Hmm.
gotta but I think more so being clear, right? And communicating. And I did that personality test, like
Hmm.
100% assertive. And
Hmm.
I was like, sometimes I kind of like back off because I don't feel like all that. All right. But it's like whatever I say to people is what I say, and a lot of
Hmm.
people misconstrue whatever it is that is being said. Like my mom and them, they know like if I'm saying something, I'm saying it. And I'm not gonna divert or, flop. Sometimes I do. I'll be like, no, okay, let me go ahead. But if I'm saying what I'm saying, I think they know I mean business. And I think that letting it be clear, like, hey, I appreciate, our relationship, our friendship, our whatever, but I need some time to myself. Or sometimes
Hmm.
I won't even pick up the phone.
Hmm.
I text you, but I don't want to communicate all day, and I'm just being honest and honest with myself and transparent, I think that just letting them know like, hey, this is what this is. And the older I get, I think our tolerance level decrease.
Ooh, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
Going with
It's
the wind.
gone.
Some stuff you just can't handle, don't want to be bothered with, or you don't have time for that. All the back and forth, and like you're making it clear, but I don't think that they're cognitively in tune to what you're saying because it's not what they want. And I think that makes almost my blood pressure went up a little bit. That that makes it even difficult because it's kind of like I'm saying what I'm saying, Um, and time is of the essence. That's some time we can't even get back. We going back and forth because I said no, I have this boundary.
Yeah.
Almost cuss.
I have 2 points to that.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I don't want to forget my other one. One of them is, um, it kind of reminds me of actually it reminds me of the angry Black woman syndrome
Okay.
that people
Yeah.
talk about when you were talking about being assertive or aggressive. And it was something, again, with boundaries that I had to realize I really needed to establish in my career path,
Mhm.
mainly because within the last 5 or 6 years, I've worked in a diverse, that wasn't my particular background,
Mhm.
environment. And I had to be very, very cognizant of my tone, my
Mhm.
pitch, my volume, my mannerisms, my paralinguistic cues, because
Mhm.
I could be saying the same thing as my counterpart,
Yeah.
and it's not an issue when she says it. But if I, an African American woman, says it, I'm aggressive, I'm abrasive, I'm angry, I'm mad. And so even with the no's or with saying things that you are not going to permit to happen in your life or to you, it
Yeah.
was me understanding code switching, one, which we all do.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
majority of us do,
I do.
but then knowing how to say no in those environments,
Yeah.
not just my personal environment, because my personal environment was a little easier for me, but my professional environment was not as easy. And I
Yeah.
had to take on all of those things when trying to respond, which was
Yeah.
a lot to have to do. And Shaki, you say something too hard or with too much breath in you,
Yeah.
everybody's scared, you
Yeah.
know? So So those are things that you definitely have to be cognizant about when you're saying no in that type of setting.
Yeah, yeah, that was good. That was
You mentioned something else that I wanted to piggyback off of, but I don't know. Hopefully, I'll remember it later. Hmm.
yeah, I think it's a powerful word, but it means it brings so many things to the light. People's behavior,
Hmm.
um, um, their maturity level.
Hmm.
It's so many things to that. And I like how you touched on in the workplace and being around different settings and different cultures and people, and I think that um that code switching is definitely
It's something that we've learned to perfect.
like, oh my God, yeah. Okay.
It's something we've learned. Hello, this is AK Harris. How can I help you today? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
how can I be
yeah,
of service today?
yeah, yeah. And be
Yep.
gentle with our words.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's just because you don't want to offend anybody, it's just
Hmm.
like, mm,
Hmm.
mm.
Hmm.
And
It's
because I
having to
want a lot of
be
tat
careful.
huh?
Hmm. Oh, that's what it was. So you were talking about your personality and saying no and how it can be a little abrasive sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that, for people that know you, and even if they don't know you, consistency is
Mm,
is also key. I said honesty was too, but consistency. And I'm at a new place of employment now. But for the past couple of weeks, I have been consistent in my behavior, consistent in when I show up, consistent on how I interact, consistent on my responses. And so, whether or not I may have a little more volume to my voice, or if I'm slouching or whatever it is that I'm doing, they're understanding this is the way Adela is. This is the
yeah.
way AK responds to these situations, and this is how she does that. And so I think consistency also helps with saying no or setting your boundaries. Because if you are not consistent with your boundaries, people will cross them all of the time because they know you're not consistent with your boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's good. That's good. So stay consistent with your boundaries.
Yes. Yes, yes. Be honest about those boundaries and
Yeah,
what you're willing to do and not do.
absolutely. We got a
Mhm.
question. What about saying no to your mate when they take advantage of your kindness?
Tell them no, no. Um, um, I think that that has to go with understanding who it is that you're with. And I talked about that a little bit earlier
Yeah.
in your relationships and your friendships. Knowing who the person is next to you, knowing what they are able to achieve and what they can't. Because let's just say hypothetically, I need somebody that is emotionally aware. Well, the
Mhm.
person that I'm with might not be emotionally aware. That might not be anything that's in his frame of mind. That might be something that he didn't grow up with. So he is unable to provide that specific thing for me, but yet I'm still requesting it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when you're looking at your mate, and what was the full question again? I remember the beginning part, but what was the end
Um,
of it?
wait, here you go.
When they're
What
taking.
about, yeah, taking advantage of your kindness?
And then that's just being transparent with your partner. Hey, now listen. Now I've been doing this, and this, and I need your help. Is your person uh, easily offended? Is this person able to take your tone and your responses, or do you have to find a way of speaking to them? Okay, you know that he likes to have his dinner before. He likes to have important conversations. He likes to sit on down and get comfortable. Make his dinner. Sit him down. Get him all comfortable and get him ready for this conversation that you guys are getting ready to have.
Mhm.
And then when you have it, don't have an attitude while you're having that conversation. Be transparent, be vulnerable, and be willing to state the things that you're needing that you're not getting out of that relationship.
Yeah.
Now, you may have a person that's just straightforward. Don't give me all this fluff. Well, flat out tell them, hey, I need this, and this. And you haven't been helping me with this, and this. It's
Right.
knowing who your partner is and how to approach a situation that may be uncomfortable for you both.
Yeah. 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 Okay, okay, say that. Yeah. Okay. Good advice, Katie. Yeah. Yeah. Like, okay, so when is a okay, since we on relationships.
Okay.
So when to say no to your
hmm
partner? When do you say no? When do you say no to them? Yeah, because some cultures they don't,
And
they
they don't say no. You're not allowed to say no.
no, you can't say it.
Exactly. Yes.
You can't say
Um, I think it should be okay to say no at any point.
it.
In a perfect world, it should be okay to say no
Yeah.
at any point. But I think it's really trying to decide, is this something that's going to impede what I'm doing right now? Do
Mm,
I have time to do this? Is it going to cost me anything? And when
yeah.
I say cost me anything, I could be meaning emotion, time, peace, money,
Yeah.
whatever it is in that particular moment. And do I have to say no, or do I just want to say no type thing?
Mhm.
And I think
Mhm.
that the haves come into play when it is impeding with your mental ability, your
Mm,
emotional ability, your physical, your spiritual, when it's pausing some of the daily things that you can do in life.
yeah.
And now you're unable to do that
Yeah.
because you're constantly saying yes instead of no for
Yeah.
particular things.
Yeah. Definitely. That's good. And I think, like you said, having that clear communication and just be honest. And I think, like if you have other commitments or you're not feeling well, you're like, no. And, even in a sexual way, a lot of men, they don't like to hear the word no when you're not really sexually in
Now,
tune or
don't you get me going down a rabbit hole because we'll be
uh-oh,
here all night.
I'm sorry. But I'm just
We'll be
saying,
here all night
if we're
talking
gonna
about
say no,
that.
we're gonna say no to the workplace, no to,
hmm
to everybody, but also when it comes down to sex, some women or men, right? Men or women, they may not be in the mood to do it or want to do it. And so when they say no, they don't get upset. I mean, that's a natural, thing or feel some type of way. But so what do you do as far as with when your mate tells you no for sex or they're not in the mood for that? Like how to receive
Now,
it. You can feel some
now
type
I
of
go, I go back and forth about that now because if this is your spouse
Mm,
and you guys are and you guys have established whatever it is that you have established in the bedroom or
yeah,
whatever you guys have established as your homeostasis for your home. Okay.
okay.
I think that compromise is what comes into play with that. So it's
Mhm,
not just saying no, you have to compromise when it
mhm.
comes to sharing your body,
Yeah,
when it comes to sharing your thoughts, when it
yeah,
comes to sharing all of those things,
yeah.
because you've decided to have this spouse. And it's almost like when you decide to have a kid. You decided to have a child, you got to raise that child, you got to pay school fees, you got to
Mhm,
get the baby shots, you got to make sure you feed them, clothe them, take them everywhere, and
mhm,
all of that stuff. Do you
mhm.
want to do it some days? No, you
I don't.
don't. Some days you just don't want to do that. But are you
Mhm.
going to? Most of the time, yes.
Yeah,
Most of the time, yes,
yeah,
because it's that compromise.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
this is a person that you have decided to let into your life.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I think that there should be definite compromise because we ask for it everywhere else. Why aren't we asking for compromise with sex too?
Mhm,
I think
mhm.
that goes both ways.
Yeah, definitely. I think we got another question. What's on my computer? I think we got another question. Katie, if you can see that question.
I can't see nothing, girl.
You can
I could when you was popping them up. Hold on.
hold on.
Oh, there's comments on here.
Yeah. Wait. Let me see. Okay, hold on. I think okay, I'll bring it up. Go ahead, Katie. My phone. Uh-oh. Oh, Katie went off. What happened? Okay. So we're gonna still keep the ball rolling. Yeah, but no, saying no is okay. We're gonna wait on Katie to get back in tune. but yeah, definitely if you have any other comments or any questions, definitely get on board, get in tune. Let's see what didn't happen to Katie. She got off. It probably went off. But yeah, but this is a healthy conversation when it comes down to the art of saying no. And getting things together. There you go, Katie.
Don't
So,
ask me to look at no questions because
okay.
clearly I'm
Oh, wait, no,
gonna
no, no,
take
no.
myself
I
off the
just made
camera.
up. They go to other question. My computer, I gotta
Thank you.
turn stuff off.
Thank you.
There you go. All right. Go ahead, Katie. Do you see the questions on there?
hmm
Okay,
I
cool.
think you can compromise when and where it is safe and healthy relationship when it doesn't feel safe. Saying no can be detrimental. I definitely agree. I was on another podcast maybe a couple of months ago, and we talked about the safety of saying no when you're in an abusive relationship, or there's health issues that are going on. There's mental health issues that are going on. Um, yes, saying no in an abusive relationship, which would be, an exterior of what we're currently talking about, can be detrimental. And I think definitely understanding where your safety measures are and who your support system is at that particular time, because being in abusive relationship is like a cycle. And
Yeah.
so sometimes you deal with, oh, well, we have really, really good times, but then we have really, really bad times. And then you have to deal with the abuse, whether it's psychological, physical, sexual,
Yeah.
emotional, verbal, all of those things. And it just kind of goes around in a circle. Remember, the reward part comes in there too. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, and the guilt and reward, then abuse, then I'm sorry, and guilt and reward. And so that would be another type of situation to deal with. And compromise, yes, goes into that too, unfortunately. But the compromise, I think, is more of a fight or flight type
Yeah.
response than it
Yeah.
is a healthy response in that particular type of relationship.
Absolutely. So that kind of compromise doesn't mean putting the partner's needs over your own.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yes. If we're still talking about an abusive relationship. And I say sometimes, yes, because that still gives you time to get out and to get
Mhm.
out in a safe way.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's really for your sake,
Yeah.
but you're compromising to get by, to get out.
Right.
If that's your ultimate goal at the
Right.
end of an abusive relationship, some people stay. Some
Yeah.
women, some men, whoever is being abused in that situation, sometimes they stay in those, and that's not their ultimate outcome.
Yeah, definitely. But on the flip side, if they're not in a abusive relationship, are we still compromising ourselves and kind of like fitting the needs of our partner?
I think that those that are being abused, yes, I do think that that's what's happening. Do I condone it? Not necessarily, but I don't beat it down either. I'm not trash talking it either. You know what I mean? Because in those types of situations, you never know what it is that you have to compromise for
Right.
your safety. Because
Right.
safety is key at the end of all of that. I
Yeah.
need to stay alive. I need to stay breathing. I need to protect my kids. I need to be whatever the reason is for you staying, it's reason enough for you to compromise to be able to stay in there and hopefully get out of that situation.
Yeah, compromise is important, but it's difficult when life be lifing.
Doesn't it life all the time?
Oof.
Ooh,
Yes.
listen, sometimes I think that was Teresa that said that.
Yeah.
Listen,
Uh-huh.
Teresa, it is
Yeah.
easier said than done
Yeah.
most days.
Yeah.
And it
Absolutely.
takes practice, 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 and consistency.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Because some days I don't want to compromise at all.
Mm-mm. What is that? I don't even hear it.
Mm-mm.
What is that word? Definitely not doing it. Hmm.
Mm-mm. I don't
Oh,
want to some days, but it's knowing what you're going for and what you are not. What is your ultimate goal at the end of this decision?
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The question was about non-abusive relationships.
Which,
About the
which
compromise.
question specifically?
Does it mean putting the partner's needs over your own?
In a non-abusive relationship, sometimes uh, I feel like if it's a healthy relationship, you should be able to say some of the things that you're willing to do and not willing to do, or that
Mhm.
you're willing to compromise and not compromise, and it
Absolutely.
be okay with your partner.
Yeah.
And you guys be able to talk that through because you might come up with another option
Yeah.
in that through that talk and understanding what my partner feels comfortable with and what they don't feel comfortable with. Because compromise, again, it's just kind of like that big umbrella. Okay,
Mhm.
he's doing this, I'm doing this. I'm willing to do this, he's willing to do a little bit of that. It's like seasoning on a piece of meat.
Yeah.
Everybody's putting a little bit of seasoning on there
I like lemon pepper.
because at the end of the day, we're trying to eat dinner
Yeah.
and we want a flavorful dinner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Can you compromise without being compromised?
Mm,
Oh, that's good.
listen now, Liv Howard. Uh, okay, can you compromise without being compromised?
Hmm. That's a
That's
good.
a very interesting question to ask. I would say yes and no to
Mhm.
that. And I say yes and no because I'm going to use a very superficial example.
Okay. Okay.
I was at church today.
Mhm.
Just trying to make some. I was at church and I wanted to go home after church got over. But my
Mhm.
friend called me and said they needed me to come that direction. Now it's 30 minutes, the opposite direction of where I currently was. And
Mhm.
where I currently was is 20 minutes that way.
Mhm.
I don't like to drive.
Mhm.
And so I'm thinking in my head, am I going to say yes to this request or am I
Mhm.
going to go on home?
Mhm.
Now, I did go ahead and say yes. And for me, it's because of the relationship I have with this person.
Yeah.
Did I feel inconvenienced? Yes. But I'm going to compromise my time to
Mhm.
go see him,
Yeah.
to go see that individual. And so I feel like although I'm compromising, I was still compromising what I was going to do on the other end. And the fact that I don't like to drive, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
so, yes, I do think that can be a double compromise.
Yeah.
And it can go both ways, whether good or bad.
Yeah. 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 That's good. That was a good question. That's a
It
good question.
was. I had to think for a second.
Yeah.
And even then, it still didn't come out the best.
You did great. You did awesome. That, I mean, that is. It's kind of like it's more so. I feel like compromise is more of a sacrifice. Am I gonna and then on top of that, because of the relationship, am I gonna sacrifice this time that is precious that has been bestowed upon us to do
Right.
what to do something someone else wants to do. And I think
Hmm.
that's the beauty of the relationship. Like, yeah, okay, I do that. Like, cool. Do I want, but at the end of the day, you did that example of I don't drive, right? I don't like driving, but we sacrifice and we were like, you know what, let me go on head on out. Like SpongeBob, let me go on head on out and let me go ahead and do that. And I think
Let me
that
go ahead and do this.
do
Yeah.
it, right? And when you get there, right? It's some places you don't want to go, you want to say no to, but then you end up saying yes, and then you end up having a good time anyway,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
enjoying the experience and all that good stuff. But sometimes it's be like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do that. And oh, that's what I want to talk about too. Do you apologize after saying no?
I sometimes have a tendency to, but I don't
Mhm.
feel like that an apology is necessary for, I don't feel like an apology is necessary most of the time. I don't.
Okay, okay, okay.
But I do feel like if someone, again, for me, it's based off of what type of relationship I have with that person. So if I tell my family members know about something, I'll probably give an explanation too. Well,
Yeah.
no, I can't do this because blah 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 blah. And if it's a stranger or something, I may just say no. I'm unable to do that. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And if both parties are hurt by my response, I would probably say, well, I'm sorry that you were hurt by what I said, but unfortunately, I'm unable to do that. I'm going to repeat what I said earlier.
Yeah, yeah. Make it
I,
clear.
I am, but unfortunately, that's just how it goes. And if you get me on the days that Katie's in full force, didn't I tell you no? Didn't I tell you no? Mm-mm. I'm sorry that you feel that way. You know, it goes like, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but my answer's not going to change.
Listen, no, that finger go up. No,
Mm, not
Katie
gonna
is my
happen.
Katie is my friend, y'all, and I heard her say no to people. She say no to me, and I'd be like, oh, okay, then. She be like, no, no. I'd be like, oh, okay, all right. But I heard her say no to some strangers,
Unfortunately,
huh?
yeah,
To some
yeah.
strangers. Ooh. I was like, well, I don't want to be no stranger. It ain't that bad, but
It's a little different sometimes.
it's a little different
That's
because no, go ahead because I know you'll know.
that's where grace and mercy comes into play. God gives us grace and mercy, and so I listen. I give grace and mercy too to my friends and family. They get that cushion still.
Let me put a little cloud underneath you, so it'll soften the blow, and it's okay. And I think I think I think also the respect level, even saying no, it's important to be respectful, respectful
Yeah.
of people's feelings too. Um, and sometimes, okay, I have I sometimes I do give an explanation, like, hey, I can't do it. I have this
Hmm.
going on. And even to, like people that I don't know like that. I'm like, hey, I don't have the capacity. I got this going on. Um, yeah. A soft answer turns away wrath. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it
Hmm.
does. It
Hmm.
does.
Hmm. It's all
That's
about the
what,
delivery.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now, if you mean as a junkyard dog, then we can't help you until you, the good Lord.
Right.
You know, I think, but a lot of people are mean, right? Let's talk about that. And they
Okay.
don't think that the words are powerful. It'll
Hmm.
hurt. Words hurt. I understand they say sticks and stones, but they lied. They lied on yesterday about that. So it's like I think that um just being respectful in how you say it, like you said. Um, then how do you create boundaries? The person who takes advantage of your continued compromise. How do you?
Um, I think that is for somebody who is taking um advantage of
Mm,
your compromising. I
yeah,
think is for for that individual themselves too.
yeah,
So if I'm being constantly taken advantage of because I'm always compromising, if that's something that I'm knowledgeable about and something that I have been able to identify, it's time for me to change up just a little bit. It's time
yeah,
for me to adjust that. And it looks like some boundary setting needs to happen again
mm,
because you can set your boundaries and have to reset again. They
yeah,
may need to be moved forward, they may need to be moved backwards.
yeah,
But I think that is definitely an individual thing that somebody has to do, but then
yeah,
also stating, hey, you know,
yeah,
I've readjusted a couple of things in my life and the things that I'm willing to do and not do, and this is what I'm going to do from here on out.
yeah,
So it's then establishing what you
mhm,
will tolerate and
yeah,
what you won't tolerate.
yeah. That's
And if
good.
you have to say that a lot of times, keep saying it.
Yeah,
They'll get tired of asking you things.
yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I used to before. Now I have discovered. I say no in the mirror sometimes, and people think
Hmm.
that's like corny or whatever. But I think that saying no and getting comfortable with saying the word no, um, kind of like empower you too. I'm not even
Hmm.
saying it in a malicious way or nothing like that because when we say yes to things, it's kind of like we disrespecting ourselves in a way, especially if it's something that correlates to, maybe it go against our beliefs or go against our values and things like that. So it's kind of like standing 10 toes down on what you say and how you say it. So I used to say, yeah, no in the mirror, no, 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 no. What's that? TikTok? No, 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 no. Like I like seriously have to say it right. Exactly. No, no, no. They was getting down. I was like, I was trying to find it for this, but I couldn't find it. You know, so but no, but I really love this conversation. You know, and helping people, you know, as far as like with compromise and setting boundaries and not feeling guilty about saying no, you know,
Yeah.
not feeling that guilt, like, oh, I just feel bad. And sometimes people make you feel bad, but you saying no.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you handle it for people that like, and it could be, it is a form of manipulation and you with the way they use your words. And I'm trying to think of a way people can manipulate you into doing something that you don't want to do.
They
And
try
I
to
think,
guilt trip you.
yeah,
That's what they do. They try to guilt trip you for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And even with manipulation and guilt, some people can recognize that right off bat, and some people cannot. And so, again, it's, you can acknowledge, I appreciate your perspective, but I need to make some choices that align with my values, that align with what I want to do and my boundaries
Right.
and my priorities.
Right.
And it could just be as simple as saying that, and refrain from over explaining. You don't owe that person everything that's going on in your life. It could be a general statement that you make and then sticking to that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sticking to focusing on your own well-being, especially if it's a guilt trip that someone's trying to use on you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just I think be more aware, because you know your people, you know, and you know how they do. Oh, well, I did this for you, and I say thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate that, but it's not like a tit for tat type thing, you know. And if you're doing things out of love and being genuine about it, then just do it. You don't have to bring it up. I don't. And that with friendships and relationships, if you do things for people, don't bring up what you've done.
What you've done.
Yeah.
Like there's a tally board or something.
Yeah, it's a tit for tat. Like, okay, well, I did this for you. Well, you gonna do this for me? Like, no, like that's not love. That's not like you genuinely doing this for a person. That's like me keeping the cost on Katie. Katie, I'm gonna keep a list of things I do for you, and then when you say no to me, I'm gonna bring all that back up to you and say, I did this. I mowed a truck. I mowed the lawn. I milked the cow. I fed the chickens and the cows. So I did all these things for you. Now you telling me no? How dare you?
Now listen though. I think that you got to look at it also from a bigger picture too when you're saying stuff like that, because because we're all human.
Yeah, we are.
And if I do a lot for somebody, and they're always telling me no, you might want to sit back for a second, because it might not be the friendship or relationship that you need in your life right now. You might be a giver and this person is a taker.
Yeah.
And they are going to take because that's what they do. And old dummy giver is going to be giving. And then again, I'm good for saying, and then your cup is empty. Who's filling up your cup? If you're giving it all away in a relationship or a friendship, and they are not putting anything back into your life. When it comes to that, like, sit back and think, is this friendship or relationship beneficial to your peace and your life?
Yeah. 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 That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Someone said that is a no, because I have to remember I like to people please. We gotta work on that. Yeah. I don't know when you said it. Yeah, people pleasing, it can be costing. You know, it'll cost your whole mental health when you do that.
It'll cost your energy, your time, your patience, your tolerance, your money, your food, your gas, your car, everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Just take it out. Just forget it.
Take it all.
Right. I think, yeah, we can't do that because it's self-preservation. And you know, and I always tell some of my clients, you know, nobody's coming to save you. You gotta save yourself. You gotta blow up that life jacket, whatever, put that life jacket on and keep swimming. You know, keep going, you know, with or
Mhm.
without people. And you have to be okay with that. You have to accept that sometimes. It's hurtful, but at the same time, you have to, you know, you have to save yourself in the midst of all of that. And people pleasing, that can be that's costing, too costing, I may add. So yeah, definitely.
It is. It is costing, but let me get spiritual for a quick second.
Hmm.
Even when you're feeling as if I can't trust nobody, or I can't, uh, no one's going to help me out in this situation, or I have to do it on my own, knowing that we have a God that is bigger than us and
Yeah,
allows us to lay our
yeah,
problems and our issues to Him. And what does
mhm,
it say? He'll keep you in perfect peace.
yeah,
Just keep
absolutely.
your mind stayed on Him. And so allowing God to guide you in the directions needed in those relationships, in those decision makings,
Absolutely.
and all of the things that are happening in life that are sending you down a path. So
Yeah,
are you in your devotions during the day? Are you allowing God to speak and talk to you um, throughout your issues, throughout your time of just saying no, or your times of saying yes, or your times of peace or frustration? Are you calling on Him during these times so that you have a clear understanding and that you are able to hear what He is trying to say to you?
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, preach. That's real though. That's definitely real. I
100%.
think
I give a
um
little bit. I give a little bit every now and then.
give a little word. Yes, give us a word. It's powerful, right? But no,
Every now
you
and then.
every now and then. But no, that is like we I mean definitely leading and guiding us to, you know, see people for who they are, see people, places, and things for who they what they are and who they are. And you know, go from there. But no, that was definitely a word. Yeah, I received that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is my friend. I love her to death. Thank you so much. If any other questions, please say it now, or you know, type it in the comment section. But Katie, thank you. AK Harris, sorry, AK Harris. Thank you so much for being a part of Social Work Sunday Tea podcast. Look, AK Harris, it was the MC, the host of the Adult Prom and Fundraiser
It
in
was.
30th. Yes, it was the best ever.
We had a
Have any
fantastic
questions?
time.
Yes, and she said yes, and I was so happy for the yes. Wachovia, thank you so much. Yeah, like it was really, really I was really honored for you to even come and to be a part and you know showing up for me in that capacity. So I'm forever grateful for that, for your friendship, for your love, all of that, you know. And we go way back. We got in trouble together and all that.
Yes. Yes. Kicked
We
out of
got a
stuff
deal.
together.
Right,
That's going to be the
exactly.
highlight. Listen, now that's always going to be one of the highlights.
Always.
Always going to be one of the highlights. But we definitely enjoyed ourselves down there. Thank you for having me on here. I've been trying to get on here, y'all, since she started it. I finally got good enough to be on. So I thank you
Oh,
for allowing me to to grace your show. And you'll definitely be coming on mine, Harris Howard Homes After Dark, which is
yes.
our YouTube channel from Harris Howard Homes. And it is very interesting to say the least. We will be having our episodes come out next month, I want to say. They've been taped, so we're just editing and getting everything together for you guys. And hopefully, you guys will see me on here again
Yes.
and we can have a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my cousin Damon be on here. We're gonna talk about like relationships and all that good stuff.
Come on,
'Cause
Damon. I'm ready for you.
yes, yes, it's gonna be dope. He out of New York, crazy, but I love him to death. But I love him to death. But no, we definitely gonna like set that up ASAP, because people want to talk about relationships and partnerships and all that good stuff. And I think that it's a perfect time. It's all about timing. I ain't want to hit the people
Hmm.
with the relationships and won't whop the bam like that. But you know, I think it needs to
Listen,
be.
You're getting all of that on mine, and it comes full force.
Yes, yes. Everybody,
Full
make sure,
force.
how can people follow you? Your social media platforms and all that good stuff.
Yes, I am on all social media platforms. So you can find me on Facebook, Harris Howard Holmes. You could also find me on YouTube, which is Harris Howard Holmes After Dark. That is our YouTube channel. And that's the one where we are talking about intimacy, relationships, sex, taboo topics, kinks, all of those things. It gets real juicy up in there. I am on TikTok, Harris Howard Holmes. I am on Instagram, Harris Howard Holmes. I feel like that's all of them, right?
Yeah.
I might have a Snapchat too, but those are all the places that you can find me. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't really know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
But those are the places that you can find me.
Make sure everybody follow AK Harris. Harris Howard Home LLC. Please. This my friend. This is my friend. And I really appreciate you again. I'm so excited about your journey. I'm gonna be there. What we need to do, because all hands on deck.
I'm gonna use you.
I'm gonna use you. Use me up. No. But no, like that's what it's all about. And I like I said, I thank God for our friendship and the journey that we're on right now, even with the podcast and just everything.
Yeah.
I'll be calling you and all in distress.
It's okay. Calm down.
Right. Get yourself she tell me this all the time. Get yourself together. I'll be like, all right, then that's fine. Right. And you got friends that hold you accountable, like, hey, the accountability, hey, you ain't I'll be like, just need that. And especially in times like these. So
absolutely.
I think, definitely. Until next time, everybody, I love you guys, and make sure that you like, subscribe, and share and all that good stuff. And it's a great day, great Sunday to be alive and well. And I hope to see you guys on next week. All right. Peace.
Bye.